What's the problem with Latinos and these traditional environmental groups that say they want to be inclusive because their problem is inclusive and affects everyone? But how do Latinos fit into that equation?
Well, I think as you've seen from the Latino Congress, there's been a lot of interest in environmental causes in the Hispanic community for many years. Cesar Chavez, for example, was one of the preeminent, if not the preeminent, Hispanic environmentalists. The problem has been that the major green organizations have not included Hispanics in their leadership. Certainly there's someone that's been appointed perhaps to work with the Hispanic population, but Latinos are not prominent within the leadership structures on the boards and in the executive directors and president's positions for these groups.
Why not?
Well, I think for the same reason why Latinos are often absent in major companies. The leadership to start with, that started these organizations, were not Latinos, and they've been failed to reach out and be inclusive. In one case, in some of the groups, the immigration issue, they felt kind of hit up against this zero population growth strategy where they were trying to keep populations low in the United States, and so they became almost anti-immigrant, some of the organizations. Luckily we moved beyond that, and many of the organizations are now supportive of immigration issues. But there's still a problem in terms of leadership, and we're knocking on the doors. I think there's a lot of interest by the Hispanic population. There just hasn't been the open doors yet.
Can you name groups that are being discriminatory of sorts?
I don't think I want to point fingers because, to be honest with you, all of them have been fairly poor in terms of diversity within their leadership structure. I do have to say that the Earth Day Network folks, they've been very good in reaching out to different diverse communities, and so that's one of the exceptions to the rule. But I'd hate to name specific groups and put them on the spot, but certainly the major green organizations, you just take a look at their leadership and you will not find Latinos in that leadership.
From an advocacy point of view, though, Latinos traditionally and culturally aren't associated with environmental groups. That's sort of white, upper class, kind of thing. Does that have anything to do with it?
I think it's still. I think Latinos would be very interested in environmental issues, and I think they are. It's just again, for the same reason why you go to the top governmental positions, there's no Latinos in the top. Well, there are in the President Bush's cabinet and others, but Latinos are underrepresented in the federal government by a huge margin. They're underrepresented in the top echelons of business by a huge margin. Same thing's happening with the Green Movement. Diversity is something you have to work at. It just doesn't happen automatically when you have a majority population that likes to grab all the plum jobs for themselves. So you've got to you have to have a very progressive, active diversity effort. The Green Movement hasn't had that.